Hey guys, welcome back to a Christmas Eve edition of Banter Bets and BPL, almost New Year's. Rough start there, -1 for me. But we have some big news. We finished our second leg of our trial match. We had Cody, we had Chris, we had Cam. Chris, we're gonna say pulled up with an injury and just absolutely pooped the bed. Ended up much in the negatives. So he was out of the running. So it was down to Cam and Cody. And Cam, you had a horrible first leg. You came back with quite the second leg. You almost even got yourself back to even after not even winning a bet in the first leg. Congratulations. Welcome to a permanent spot on the pod. Your reward is only -595 that Marco left us with. So you're much higher than well, not much higher than Keegan, much higher than Sandy and I. How'd you do it, Cam, in that second leg?
I think that I decided to make bets that I felt really confident with.
That's a good call.
It is a good call because I do tend to swing for the fences sometimes, and then obviously it doesn't pay out as much as you hope. You don't get as many home runs as you swing, but
right.
Yeah, I felt good. I felt that the City Liverpool parlay obviously really helped out. I'm a big City fan. I'm really happy that they found a result. I'm really happy that they finally seem to be in a defensive place that's definitely makes a City fan happy, and it looks like their team's gelling together really well. And then I was pretty fortunate.
Oh my god, this is so dumb.
About the Callum Wilson score first. That won me the spot, but yeah, sometimes you need a little luck in the betting.
A little backstory on that. Cam had Callum Wilson to score first, and there was an own goal in the game. But I guess, well, it's not actually Callum Wilson to score first. It's first goal scorer. An own goal isn't a person, so he can't be a goal scorer. So Callum Wilson scored the second goal of the game, but was the first goal scorer. And Cam won off that.
Exactly. And that's how I won. So a little fortunate in that regard, but you got to make the bets to get lucky on the bets. So
hey, Cam, I'd rather have a guy who's lucky than a guy who's good on here. So as long as you can bring that luck with you, then we're all good. All right. So there you go. You heard it from Cam. Make bets you're confident in, and they'll do better. Thank you, Cam. Cody, you had the big first leg lead, a huge away goal, and you let it slip just like a true Manchester United fashion. How did it happen?
I put 40 on Liverpool. They came out strong. They absolutely obliterated Palace. But unfortunately for me, Cam had City and Liverpool together.
Oh, we're losing you guys' audio there.
Uh-oh.
I think you're talking too far away from the mic, Cody. Look in the mic when you're talking, buddy.
Okay, my bad.
It's okay.
So Cam had Liverpool and City. It paid out even higher than my bet. So I wasn't looking good after that, considering I only had $10 more to hopefully hit one of my other bets. They weren't simple bets, the last $10. I was kind of just like trying to hit something pretty huge after I hit the Liverpool one. So it was kind of just like I was praying for one of those to hit. Unfortunately, I didn't. Cam's Callum Wilson goal, I was so pissed about that. He wins on a technicality.
He wins on a technicality. Yeah. That's right. Well, Cody, we've rewarded you as a runner-up with a spot as the guest on this week. So if it's your last appearance ever, which probably won't be, to be honest, but if it is, then you can show us what we're missing by not extending that contract offer to you and instead extending it to Cam, who's just put pen to paper actually this morning.
Yeah, let's make it a good one.
Do you think every betting website goes by that same rule where an own goal wouldn't count as a first goal scorer? I'm just curious if Cam just profited due to Bet365's specific rules, unlike Dev, who got screwed over or whatever account he used. We're having some heterogeneity between our betting accounts here, so I'm just wondering if that is a universal betting thing or.
I think Cam has got an in at Bet365 because when we were doing the international stuff too, he was swindling some stuff. He had his Cam special, but then the player wouldn't play, but then the team would win and he was getting money. So Cam, do you actually work for Bet365? Are you?
It's funny that you say that. It's funny you say that because, yeah, I do work for Bet365 secretly. I actually give out the payouts as I please. So, but no, I'm just kidding. I think it's just just a lot. I just been lucky. It's just lucky.
Yeah. All right. Why don't we head over to brother Keegs, who, by the way, I was absolute trash. Didn't hit a bet for the first time of the season. I've always at least hit one, but didn't hit a bet. -45, just when I was getting close to 0. So that's disappointing for me. Coming back real strong this week, though. Promise you guys, as per usual. Keegs was it was not bad. -4.86, hovering around that 0 mark. Keegan, how come you couldn't get it over the line?
Well, I mean, you know, my philosophy, one bet should get me over the line, get me into the positive. So I honestly thought I hit the bet because the morning I woke up, I had Danny Welbeck to score, obviously voided if he didn't start. So I woke up, checked my phone, saw Danny Welbeck goal, marked that down as a bet one. Turns out Welbeck didn't start, got subbed on and scored, so the bet voided. So I still won the bet, just at the reduced payout, so it couldn't quite get me over the line. The rest of the bets were a complete disaster, I think. But
Coach Cam, we're seeing the other side of Coach Cam is a big guy who's always voiding if doesn't start. We just saw the other side. Are you sticking to your philosophy, or are you saying, maybe you shouldn't void when they start? Void.
I think that I still think my philosophy is it pays more so when you void than if you don't. So
100%, yeah.
I'm gonna stick with it. And that's all I really gotta say about that.
I agree. You absolutely should still be voiding if doesn't start. You'll have a couple ones like that, but you're going to profit more than you lose from that, I believe, as well. Just like Coach Cam says. Sandy, -20. What went well? What was just what went wrong?
Well, first of all, I got gashed by Brighton. I mean, if you were to tell me that Brighton is going to be a man up on Sheffield going to the second half and they just got to win and I'll win, like, I don't know, I had like 10 to win 50 or something. I've been running around the house screaming, celebrating that bet already, but somehow they conceded to 10 on Sheffield and went on to get a draw. And yeah, that was that gone. And then, you know, a few shitty bets here and there. I think I had Spurs, and the over parlay was fun, but got ruined pretty early with City. City couldn't get that over the line despite scoring like 5 minutes in. Just a disappointing weekend. I also had I had the Wolves Burnley 1-0 for each way, and Burnley came out and went up 1-0, and I was already cashing that one in too, and then a couple more goals. You don't see that every day with Burnley. So as usual, just a few bounces that didn't go my way, but at least I saved a respectable scoreline by getting Villa, hammered Villa, and got them over the line. So
yeah,
he goes. Limit the
damage. You guys ready to take a look at some games? They are coming thick and fast. We got game week December 26th, 27th, game week 29, 28, 29, 30, game week January 1, 2, I believe, something like that. I don't know. But we've got 3 game weeks coming up. Let's take a look at this next one for betting.
We working our bags off over the holiday period because don't be coming out lines probably tough to these games, eh?
Well, no, there's lines already, but you do kind of want to see what happens. So we might we'll see.
We're not taking shortcuts out here. We're gonna wait and see the games on play.
We're delivering you guys quality bets. Starting off, Leicester, Manchester United. I cannot put my finger on Leicester. I can start to put my finger on Manchester United as a good team. Cameron Pettick, are Manchester United a good team?
Yes.
Would you care to elaborate?
I think I believe Manchester United have some of the top players in the Premier League, notably Marcus Rashford. I was a little skeptical of him for a little bit. I think more so on bias than on my own personal opinion. But since now I've owned him in fantasy, I've been watching him play, and I'm a huge fan. I think he's great.
So basically,
I think he's real class.
Just flipped.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say you didn't have him in fantasy. You were biased against him. Now you do, so you're biased for him.
Well, it was. I guess in a sense that that's the case as well. But it's also the case of I didn't watch him play, and I just believed what other people's opinions. And now I'm thinking I actually watch him. I'm able to formulate my own opinion, and I think he's great. And I've always thought he was a top person for the things he's done outside of the soccer field, but he's amazing. Bruno Fernandes gets a lot of stick, but I think he's becoming towards the world class stage, towards the Kevin De Bruyne, best player, best midfielder in the Premier, or one of, and a lot of players around those two. You're building a decent foundation with those two players, and a lot of players are around them are starting to show what they can really do. And I think that I honestly believe they're a top quality team. So.
And there is a great a coach's answer from Coach Cam. That's what we have him on for.
Yeah.
All right. You know, Bruno Fernandes gets stick, Coach Cam, and it's from jealous Chelsea fans. That's who he gets stick from. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. And speaking of jealous Chelsea fans, my question for you, Cody, is are Leicester City a good team?
Leicester City are a bit sporadic.
Wow, word of the podcast. Thank you, Cody.
Word of the podcast. Sometimes they just look incredible. Like they took down Spurs, and then other times they're just looking so slow and so shitty and so like
Wolvesy.
Yeah. I don't actually have an answer for you. I can't trust Leicester. I think they got to be added to the can't trust pot, to be honest.
I think, yeah, that basket is growing. I think we throw them in the bet on them when they're underdogs, but fade them when they're favorites, because they'll go and beat Spurs, but they'll then go and lose 2-0 at home to Fulham.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That type of team. Having said that, we're going to go to Keegan to make it the trifecta on Cameron's iPhone there. Keegan, who wins this game?
United.
United win it. I agree as
That's
a biased United fan. All right, we're going to move on to Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, and we're going to go to our resident Aston Villa expert, Sandy. Does Aston Villa have what it takes to win this type of game where they're the favorites? They're going to have all the ball. We know that because they're playing Crystal Palace. They've got the best player, Jack Grealish, in this game. Way better than Zaha. Don't even want to hear it from Marco. Grealish is obviously better than Zaha. Do they have what it takes to win this type of game, Sandy?
Zaha. Man, as a Villa fan, this is this kind of game you circle on your calendar and you're like, maybe don't watch this one because you're gonna have a lot of disappointment. I mean, you just hate seeing them as a favorite. You hate seeing it.
Yeah.
Personally, I will not be betting on this one. I think it's probably an overreaction to Palace just getting thumped last weekend. But yeah, based on like what I've seen this year, probably like a toss up here. So I don't like the Lions at Villa fair, but I don't know, they're coming on strong. That El Ghazi chump's looking decent. He's balling out a little bit.
So isn't that a little counterintuitive to, as a Villa fan, to circle this game on your calendar and just write not watch? Shouldn't you just save the ink and not even circle it and pretend it doesn't exist?
Well, the beauty of you got to make sure that it doesn't sneak up on you.
Yeah, you really want to make sure to not watch this.
Yeah, you got to be sure.
Okay.
The beauty of being a Villa fan is that it gives you unexpected joy, but it also gives you expected anguish against trap games.
As long as you know when to expect the anguish, then you should be able to figure out how to expect the joy too. So it wouldn't be unexpected joy. You could expect both joy and anguish.
It's that they're definitely capable of winning as big dogs. So that's fun. We saw against Liverpool. The highs are very high. But then, these games here, if they win, it's not like you're going to be happy. You're going to be like, oh, great, we just beat Palace, who lost 7-0 Liverpool. And if they lose, you're going to be thoroughly disappointed. So you just don't watch it. Just don't watch it.
Aston Villa is actually, we threw Leicester in the basket for can't trust them. Aston Villa is actually the leader of that basket. They just welcomed Leicester in with a nice hug and said, welcome. You guys are now part of the team. Crystal Palace shipped 7 goals. When is the last time a team in the Premier League shipped that many? I honestly don't know.
I'll tell you.
Oh, Keegan's got it. Thank goodness, because I had absolutely no idea if anyone.
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm quite confident it was Southampton last year against Leicester when they got absolutely down. And then look at their record since then. They've been a hot fire. So we might be in a Crystal Palace similar situation, but I highly doubt it.
Wait, was it Villa and Liverpool not 7 or is that 6?
Oh, true.
Yeah. Villa scored 7 on Liverpool, I think.
Big
My
touchdown.
goodness.
You
wait.
You have to touchdown score once a year.
If Villa can score 7 on Liverpool, and Liverpool can score 7 on Crystal Palace, are we looking at a 14-0 game, or are we supposed to multiply those numbers?
I'm thinking we're looking at a 49-2 game.
No, it's transit property. Villa beat Liverpool by 5. Liverpool beat Palace by 7. So I'm expecting a 12-goal margin.
So we should take Aston Villa minus 11.5.
I wonder what the odds would be.
That would be the math guy thing to do. That would be the.
All right. Well, we're all about analytics on this podcast, so I think that's what we should do on that one. All right, let's move on to Fulham Southampton. A little bit disappointing, Cam. I'm sure you were studying the Southampton game, playing against your guys, Manchester City. A little disappointing. I thought they had it in them to pull the upset, but well played by City. Does Southampton get back on track here?
I believe they do. I actually was surprised how attacking and usually teams that play against City are a little scared to attack. They'll step back, but it was almost the opposite, especially in the second half. City sat back, shelled, and countered a ton, and Southampton looked pretty good. I don't know how they're gonna fare with their best and top player, Danny Ings, out, but they've done the job without him because he's been out for a couple games before. So I like this. As you see when we do the bets, I like Southampton. I like some players on Southampton. Some players that may also be on my fantasy team I like, that also may be playing striker. So yeah, I like this. I think that Southampton happened in them to bounce back and beat Fulham for sure.
We're gonna go to Cody now. Cody, my question for you: does Fulham get relegated? Yes or no? Lock in your answer now.
No, Fulham doesn't get relegated.
Fulham does not get relegated. How come?
Name 3 worst teams. Go.
That's a hot. three worst teams.
I'm sure you can name 2 worst teams.
Sheffield, West Brom, and who else is down there?
I've got one for you, and Keegan's not gonna like it. Brighton. Is Brighton in trouble, Keegan?
Oh yeah.
No.
Brighton's a hot take to go down.
Boy, someone's got to go down at a Fulham, Brighton, and Burnley. And
It's going to be Fulham. You don't think it's going to be Burnley?
I would lean towards Fulham as well. Maybe we see Arsenal enter the fray a little later. that would please everyone if Arsenal could just get that done. Speaking of which, Arsenal versus Chelsea. Arsenal has been horrible since the 1st of November when their last win in the league came against Manchester United. Sandy, do they have what it takes to pull one out against a big team again? They're going to be Aubameyang-less. They'll probably be Lacazette-less because they just don't start Lacazette.
What happened to Aubameyang?
Aubameyang's been hurt the last couple times.
He had that mental break we were talking about. We were warning him.
Does Nketiah and Pepe go and beat Chelsea?
I mean, I didn't even know those guys were out, so I'm actually more optimistic on Arsenal now. Now I know they're gonna have just a weird ass team out there.
You're a fan of weird ass Arsenal teams.
Well, just what they've been doing is obviously not working. It's been a pathetic run of form. Seems like Arteta's definitely lost the room. But that being said, I'm still scared to bet against Arsenal because the lines are so bad.
I kind of agree. Have you, in your vast playing career, have you ever been in the dressing room where the manager just lost the room?
Oh yeah. Our university team was not a big fan of the head coach at periods. Well, he was a little bit spineless, and
so would that galvanize the group to go out and prove them wrong, or is the lack of leadership tough to overcome?
It depends on the character in the room. You know, when I was up there, like thinking like my second year, I was more of a role guy, just, you know, getting my starts in net, back one team, but I wasn't like a captain. And we had our captains, you know, they weren't maybe the best. So it was just a little bit of internal turmoil. But then once I got in my upper years there and I was leading the squad, the character in the room can push the team forward.
There you go.
But I don't know if Arsenal has that character. Like, they're just a bunch of babies.
So you're saying if you were Arsenal's goalie, they would win this game, but since you're not, they're not going to win.
I'm saying if Leno was a SDH like leader, then yeah, they'd probably have a better shot. But I don't know if Arsenal has like leaders.
I don't think Leno is like that. I just don't think he has it in him. Has he won a Kenora tournament? Doubt it. Has he won a penalty shootout in the for Saints Classica? Doubt it.
Yeah.
Has he won a USA Cup? Doubt it.
USA Cups, unlikely, possible,
Mhm.
but
Leno's had it way too easy.
1-6.
Cody, you're the resident Chelsea fan. Are you confident in Chelsea winning this game?
This is a Chelsea lock. They're winning this game comfortably.
Ooh, a Chelsea lock.
Yeah,
That
this
is
is
bold.
I'm
What
actually
makes you
very
so sure?
I'm very confident in this game, considering the only good Arsenal players are Aubameyang, Gabriel Martinelli.
Okay, the fantasy bias strikes again.
The fantasy bias. Those are the only two good players, and Martinelli got obliterated in the League Cup this week. So I don't know if he's going to be playing. He tweeted out he's fine, but I can't see their two best players playing. And Chelsea is coming off a 3-0 win against West Ham. They didn't play great, but it's coming. They're gelling soon. This is their time.
Liam, it could be your Ewing effect games. Could be one of those kind of situations, right? Like
The
he takes
Ewing
best
theory.
players out, and they might
Best
surprise.
Best players out, the rest of the team steps up to prove it. I agree. I think this has Ewing theory potential. Absolutely.
Are you guys talking about Arsenal doing that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, their best player was out against Everton, and they didn't start Lacazette, and they just threw up a dud. So I think that opportunity already passed.
Well, maybe this
Yeah,
is the Ewing theory after the Ewing theory
It's a
potential.
new day, Keegan. Every game's different.
And then they lost 4-1 to Man City after that and threw up another dud.
Well, it's
Before
still
we
a new
move
day.
on, let's move on from this. Before we do, does anyone have a one to watch Arsenal red card shout?
Oh, this is a tough one. I still think Elneny's due. I think Elneny's due.
El Neni. I'm gonna shout out
Please do.
Pepe as another stupid player who's just looking to get another red card. Also on Keegan's fantasy team, which is a red card magnet. The manager over there has absolutely no discipline. Keegan and Arteta, very similar. So I'm going Pepe.
You know what?
David Luiz.
Sorry. Yeah. I was just thinking it would be funny if we should go back-to-back Xhaka red cards. He comes back after choking some guy. He's going to get another red card.
Gabriel is also back for back-to-back Reds.
It's the back-to-back Reds, maybe.
Back-to-back Reds would be something, but I would not put anything past Arsenal at this point. Cameron, Man City. They drew against West Brom last week in the midweek. Then they went and corrected themselves, beat Southampton. Newcastle, a team they've had trouble with the last couple of years. We remember the Shelby goal. We remember, I believe they lost to Newcastle last year, right? Or at least tied.
Yeah, they drew Newcastle. They also, I'm pretty sure, lost to them as well. But the year before that, Aguero. It's Aguero. We need Aguero to play. We need to be fit. Aguero is a Newcastle killer. He scored the 5 goals at Newcastle 3 years ago. That was a huge fantasy time for him. The year before that, he scored the hat trick against them at home. He's the Newcastle killer. I want to see him play because City seem to be struggling in the goal scoring department, and he's a fucking goal scorer. It's as simple as that.
He's a motherfudging goal scorer. There you go. So you're not worried about Newcastle at all?
Oh, I'm worried. No. I'm definitely worried. But I'm worried about Callum Wilson because
Naturally.
I think that he's the balls are behind and the pace he has maybe on a counter attack because I can guarantee Newcastle's going to sit back and find their either a counter attack or a Man City giveaway from the likes of A, Benjamin Mendy, B, Ederson. So that's how they're going to score. And I think Callum Wilson's going to eat that up. So I am scared.
Of big game Joel Linton.
Okay. Joel Linton, no. Okay. We're gonna pretend that wasn't said.
I think you can go ahead and lock in Newcastle having the least amount of possession of any team this weekend.
Yeah. Yes.
Cam, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Since you're the Man City expert, is Laporte going to start this weekend?
I don't think Laporte's going to start because he started in midweek.
He scored.
I don't think he's going to start. He started midweek and he played awful. So, yeah.
Cody, I really do think you need to give up on Laporte.
He's got such a high
Have
upside.
a
if he starts
locked-in
playing.
pair back there or what? They got Stones and Diaz locked in.
I think so. I think Stones and Diaz are locked in for them.
Unlike
Yeah.
Man City.
As much as I would like to see Laporte be playing again and be playing as good as 2017-18 and then 2018-19 Manchester City, but he's just not. So,
17-18
no.
You hate to see it. Is there a team with a better third and fourth center back pairing than Laporte and Nathan Ake? Like, what a waste. What a waste of talent.
Yeah.
Nathan Ake was, I don't know about that one.
Why did Pep spend like 50
No.
million on Ake just to spend like another 50 on Diaz?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. Like, I don't know. I feel like, I feel like Pep's just one of those managers that kind of almost like when you're a child and you like receive money, you're like, I need to spend it right away. I feel like that's what it is. He sees something new. He's like, oh, Nathan Ake, he looks good. I'm going to get him. And now he's like, oh, well, Diaz also looks good. Let me just get him too because I have more money. Like, I'm not really sure what his plans were. Or he bought Nathan Ake so nobody else has him. Maybe he's just a selfish child as well. He's like, I want Nathan Ake and not play him so nobody else can use him. I don't know.
He takes joy in ruining players' careers. Just seeing
that's another one.
I mean, like,
exactly.
I'll buy this guy just in case and most likely ruin his career.
So Cam, you say that's what children do is they get their money and they spend it right away. I feel like you still do that, don't you?
Touche.
Been prone to a bit of spending sprees yourself?
I do like to spend money. But I'm also able to budget my money as well. So I don't leave myself in the dust where Pep is like, oh shit, we have some of the worst left backs in the history of the Premier League. And we're going to buy 3 more center backs and we have fucking $1 million. So yeah, I don't know.
Enough.
Cam also likes making a big deal about pick up a bill and then send everyone a text separately being like, hey man, can you transfer me like $40 for
that? Yeah. Cam's a hero till the next morning.
Yeah, then I still ended up getting screwed on that because not everybody transferred me at BP, but it is we won the tourney. It was all worth it.
Hand up did not pay you back for that. I saw that text and I was like, no sir, I'm not paying you for that bill.
That's fine. That's okay.
All right.
I didn't pay you back either because I figured that I'd be the only one bombing up and down the field and that was payment enough.
There you go. Let's move it along. Cody, we said Sheffield United was going to win last week and get their first win. It was looking good for a while, but then Welbeck had to come on and screw us over. Does Sheffield United get their first unexpected win in this game?
I don't think so. I think last week was their chance, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that was their only chance at winning, and now they're not going to win this season.
I was really hoping they'd squeeze that win out against Brighton, but it wasn't meant to be.
No. Yeah. Will they get over or under 15 points this Premier League season, Cody?
15 points.
They're at 2 right now.
What are they on pace for?
And it's
how many
Christmas.
games in?
Well, it's almost halfway through the season, so
they're on pace for 6th-ish.
Yeah.
Over
under 15.
No, they aren't. It's under for sure.
Are they the worst team of all time? Is Derby County 2007-2008? I think they had 12 points. Do they get over or under 12? Are they the worst team in Premier League history, points wise?
No, they're gonna go over that.
So Cody's got them right between 12 and 14.
With 13 points.
They're nestling in with 13 or 14 points. Yeah.
So there you go. That's very specific from Cody. He thinks Sheffield United getting 13 or 14 points on the season. A little bit of wiggle room with the or 14 there. So we'll go ahead and lock that in. Thank you, Cody. Everton. Is Everton a Leicester type team that you throw in the can't trust box? Or can we trust them this game, Sandy?
I think Everton already was in the can't trust box. We're in our 2 main staples of the can't trust box, Everton and Villa.
Yeah.
Maybe Leeds, I don't know. But, I mean, I don't trust Everton at all, but I think this line is disrespectful.
Yeah, I can't help but say, how is Everton not going to beat Sheffield United?
yeah, I don't see a way in which that happens.
Mhm.
They'll score and Sheffield probably won't. So that's how you win soccer games.
Yeah. When you score and the other team doesn't, you will win most of those games.
It's kind of crazy. Is Ramsdale and Henderson just that much of a difference? Because that's pretty much all that's different with Chef this year is their goalie.
Well, I do think Ramsdale is really bad.
He is really bad.
And I do think Henderson's good.
But yeah, obviously it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Because wow, they fell off a cliff. Ken Wheeler off the freaking cliff here.
Yeah, it's the second year syndrome. See it all the time. Poor Sheffield. All right, moving on. We got our last 4 games on Sunday. Leeds. So I think Cody wanted to touch on this one. Leeds is the fun team. They score a lot of goals. They're going to do well. But when you concede 6, 4, 6, 3 goals every week, it's hard to win games, right, Cody? Can you confirm?
It is. I can confirm. Yeah. Me and Keegan were talking about this during the Leeds United game, and it was just like they're like down like 5-1 or something, and the commentators are like, "Man, look how hard Leeds are working. They never give up, blah blah blah, and all this stuff." But they're just getting obliterated by Man United on the counter. Like I don't know. They're receiving too much praise, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can definitely back that up. It was like the commentators would talk about Leeds for 10 minutes straight, and then it would be interrupted by a United goal that they would mention. And then they would talk about Leeds for another 10 minutes straight. And I mean, I got nothing against Leeds. They're a fun team. And as a United fan, I'd love to have Leeds around if they're just going to let us throw 7 or 6 against them every week and walk to an easy win and give us an entertaining game. So love having Leeds around. I think the commentators are getting a little over. I don't know. I don't even know.
Bill also said something in our group chat about that, where he's like, he's listening to the radio. They were talking about Leeds for like 20 minutes, and then they're like, yeah, they're down 6-1 at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. You'd think so. Bielsa, good manager, but you'd think he'd teach his team to how to defend a set piece, right?
You think you'd teach the team how to defend it all? I would love to see what their training sessions are. I assume it's just sprinting back and forth, like for half the practice, and then the other half of the practice is just shooting practice to reward them or something.
The Brett Mandrick special, the sprinting, the Brett Mandrick special.
I think it's I think they play 5v5 with 3 neutrals, so it's always 8 versus 5. Because that seems like that's like how they like to defend, with guys caught up the field.
They're always looking for the counter on the set pieces. That's their play. It's like, we'll get up this corner here, but we're still looking to score. Like our goalie will grab it and then maybe launch a fast break, or we'll probably concede. That's how
they're never out of a game. At least that's their mindset. Down 6-1. Well, we can score 5. Let's do it.
I think that was kind of the sentiment the manager were going for, was like, yeah, they're getting walloped 6-1, but look at their attitude. They're not giving up. They're still playing hard. They're still trying to score. So it was more of that kind of idea, as opposed to like, yeah, these guys are so fucking good. It was like the attitude. It was an attitude thing.
So, Keegan, you watched the Burnley Wolves game, right?
I don't think I did.
Did anyone here watch the Burnley Wolves game with me?
Missed that one.
Okay.
I did see I didn't watch any of the games, but I did see the classic Burnley goals.
I was going to say, has anyone seen a more Burnley goal than their second goal?
Did you see the Chris Wood?
Yeah.
The Chris Wood was an absolute Burnley classic.
Yeah, free kick at half.
Bouncing off heads. They're just loving each other. They're just loving each other.
Yeah.
So free kick at half. They dump it into the box. Ben Mee wins the header, bounces off someone else, and then Wood is right there, like 2 yards out, to absolutely hammer it into the roof of the net as hard as he can. Just a bully in that box. We had Barnes scoring from 2 yards out with the header. Burnley is back to their very best, I think, and I'm confident they won't get relegated. Do you guys think they have what it takes to? And this is an ultimate clash of styles. What style wins this clash?
You know what? It's hard to say, but I think it's a bit of a toss-up. So the fact that, it's a bit of a toss-up leaning towards Leeds. So the fact that you can catch Burnley at such great odds, I think is the play there for sure.
Yeah. And if Leeds can't defend aerial balls or corners against any other team, they are in for a treat against Wood and Barnes, who are back to their best, just mucking it up.
Isn't Liam Cooper? Didn't he get injured last game as well? They're one defender.
Yeah, I think he
So
did. So they're gonna
down
have
there
to throw.
one defender as well.
They already threw Ailing as a center back, and Ailing is just a bomber. All he's good at is going forward, and they threw him center back. Maybe they'll throw Dallas there now, and have absolutely no defenders in the back. All right, yeah, I think that'll be a fun game. If nothing else, just to see the contrast of styles. West Ham Brighton. Keegan, can Brighton get back on track? They couldn't even beat a 10-man for like 70 minutes. Sheffield United. There's no chance they beat West Ham, right? Or is this the game where they're underdogs and they surprise everyone, shock the world?
I don't know anymore. It could go either way with them at this point. I think they need to get a couple statement results here to get back on track.
Are you worried about them getting relegated?
You know what? I'm not, because I just think, like, if you look at them compared to Fulham, like I feel like both of them aren't very good at actually getting results. Like, they might play decent, but both of them won't be able to get results. But I just think the quality on Brighton's a little bit more quality, a little bit more Premier League experience. So I think, yeah, that's it. That's all it takes sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Sandy, this is one of the games where I think we've seen West Ham as a favorite, can't always be trusted. Brighton as an underdog can sometimes be trusted. Is this too easy? Is this too easy to pick a Brighton win?
I watched Brighton stab me in the back last week when they couldn't get a win against 10-man Sheffield. So I will not be. I might put my support in Brighton.
This is a new day.
Will you be hate betting West Ham?
This is a new day. I will not be betting West Ham. I will be pretending this game does not exist, most likely.
Fair enough. All right. Yeah, I don't know about this game. I think West Ham really, really, really should win this game if they're serious about being a top half team. But West Ham is never really serious about being anything other than a bit of a laughing stock. So I would not be super confident in them. Maybe they can turn a corner. Antonio needs to come back for them, hopefully. Speaking of laughing stocks, West Brom away at Liverpool. If this game was played 50 times, Cam, how many games would West Brom win in 50 games away at Anfield against Liverpool?
If they played 50 times, they would win one time.
1 in 50.
I honestly believe it's 1 in 50. Yeah.
So these odds shouldn't just be 19; they should be 49.
They honestly should be. I actually think it's a little disgraceful that Liverpool it's only 19 to beat Liverpool. It should be.
Yeah.
Honestly, it should be like 30.
Wasn't it 1.09 last weekend with City and West Brom? So they're giving West Brom a slightly more of a chance against Liverpool.
Yeah, I don't know why, to be honest.
Maybe it's because West Brom proved last week against City. They were like, we will not be disrespected with this line. We're going to go out and tie.
Yeah, and they got a new manager now, so maybe that's the thing. Maybe they're like, oh, the Big Sam's able to push up the odds from 1.09 to 1.11 for the home team. But yeah, I think that it's one, and it's 1 in 50. There's no way they win more than one time.
Oh, Cody, Liverpool hasn't lost at home for something like, I don't know, 60 games or something crazy. Does Big Sam Allardyce's West Brom break that trend?
There's no way.
Could you see it?
After watching the highlights of last weekend's game, Crystal Palace Liverpool, I was like, holy shit, like this is going to be a demolition.
Yeah.
So I have no faith. I think that Liverpool are a different monster than City.
Yeah. Don't sleep on the manager bump though, boys. Don't sleep on it.
Well, they had him for the Aston Villa game, and Villa scored like 2 minutes in, so it was probably the shortest manager bump ever. Sandy, if I were to say you have to pick one side or the other, Liverpool wins by 4 or more goals or anything else, which side would you pick?
So you're giving me like you're just giving me a line here and saying like 3.5.
Yeah.
I'd probably take I'd probably take I'd take West Ham
West
plus
Brom.
3.5. West Brom plus 3.5. Yeah,
Okay,
tough to win by 4 goals in this league.
fair enough. If it was 2.5, would you still take West Brom, or is Liverpool winning by 3 goals?
2.5 is very different. I would take Liverpool in that situation.
Fair enough. So that's what the line's got to be. It's got to be right on 3. There you go, odds makers. Take that and do with it what you please.
Yeah, they really should start doing, I don't know, something like that in soccer where they give you a few goals or something like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying. Like, you can't bet this game when it's a line like this. It's just a waste of time.
I'm going to stick my neck out and say I think West Brom gets a result here. I think they defend. I think they score a headed goal and they get a 1-1 or a 1-0 win. Who's with me?
You're sticking a long ass neck out there. It's probably gonna get chopped off.
I do have a long neck.
Guillotine's coming out here and slicing that thing away.
Okay, Liam. Okay. Who on West Brom is going to push them past Liverpool, get the result for them?
Charlie Austin. Charlie Austin is scoring on Sunday.
Charlie Austin.
From out of the forest, out of the depths of the forest, he's coming out, the lumberjack, Charlie Austin. Probably gonna have a huge beard. He might even have white hair. I think he had white hair at one point with a black beard.
I honestly believe Charlie Austin had a great season with the QPR, and then he got lost in the wardrobe and was in Narnia for a couple of seasons, and now he's back. He's found himself back.
He's found himself back. He hasn't played more than 20 minutes.
Yeah, he's not found himself back yet. Let's not get it twisted.
I meant like found himself back, like
in
in England.
Back on a bench, yeah.
Back on the grass. As David Moyes once said about Mikel Antonio, he's touching grass.
Yeah, I think Charlie Austin touches grass this weekend, and he's going to touch the ball with his head and score.
Okay, that's okay.
All right, let's move on to 2 teams that cannot be trusted, Tottenham and Wolves. So in the last week, we've seen Wolves go and beat Chelsea and lose to Burnley. We've seen Tottenham lose to, well, actually, we've just seen Tottenham lose. So we've seen them lose to Leicester. We've seen them lose to Liverpool. Tottenham was my big bet last week. Super disappointing. They don't look like they can score. Cody, does Heung-min Son score in this game? Does Tottenham score in this game?
I think this game's going to be 0-0.
0-0.
So I don't think Son's scoring. They both play 5 in the back, both these teams, don't they? Well, I guess
Spurs are 4 back.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay, well they're known to
4-2-3-1.
park. They're known to park. Wolves are known to park. I think this is a 0-0 written all over it. Son's not scoring, unfortunately for me.
I disagree with Cody. I think this is 0-0. Jose doesn't park the bus that bad against teams like Wolves, teams that just lost to Burnley. It'll be at least 1 goal.
There we go. Sandy sticking his neck out with at least 1 goal in this game. Cam, I know you saw the night Serge Aurier. My question for you is, how did we not include him in the stupid 11?
I think he might have. That's actually a good. I don't know how because you have in the past with arguing with Marco about how bad Serge Aurier is. So I can't believe it was
stupid he is too.
Yeah, how it blown over our heads like
selection.
that. Yeah, I can't believe when I saw that. I didn't even have to. I just knew right away. I was like, that was just wow, just shocking.
Just a lack of preparation from the boys, not doing their homework.
Yeah. I can't believe we missed out on Serge Aurier. But the good thing is I just got off the phone with Serge before our podcast here, and I penciled him into the stupid 11. He is available for selection, and he heard he got slighted, thought he missed out, so he said, I'm going to go do something really stupid this weekend and make sure I push for my spot. And good news, Serge, we absolutely have an opening at right back. You can have that. And yeah, you're welcome to the stupid 11. You're in there with Xhaka, with whoever else we had. Douglas Luiz,
Mendy, Pickford, our back line starting to take shape.
Yeah, Pickford's in there. Did we put David Luiz in as well?
Oh, I don't know if we did yet, but he's probably a good candidate.
Yeah, we might have to start constructing a graphic for this.
Eric Bailly should probably be in there.
Eric Bailly could be in there. Yeah, he'd get a nice strong link with Aurier as the two Ivory Coast guys.
Yep, exactly.
I'm starting to notice a little trend here. Are these African players maybe not the wisest? They're more physical threats.
I honestly know it because Zetroy once told me that when because he's from Jamaica, when they were growing up, their coach had them ahead their gym wall until their head would started bleeding, and that's how they prepared to head the ball, and that's how they learned to head the ball. So I just think it might be how they're coached when they're younger, and they come into the prem and they just fly into the stupidest of challenges and do the stupidest of things, and yeah, who knows?
They see a player and all I can think of that brick wall, and they just go flying.
Yeah. Yeah,
They
they think that, yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna say it's not. I'm gonna say it's not a race thing. I think there's some equally stupid players from all over the world. We've seen Xhaka be possibly even stupider.
Yeah, that's true.
We've seen Barton, the captain and manager of the stupid 11. So I'm gonna say you can find
Jackie Moon of the stupid 11.
Yeah, exactly. You could find stupid players anywhere in the world. All right. I think that's enough banter. Let's get into the bets. We're going to start off with Keeg, who had the best week last week or the least bad week last week. Keegs, what do you got for bets?
Yeah, let me cue it up here. Okay. We're going to start with Southampton to win against Fulham. We're going to move on to Man United to win or draw and Aston Villa to win or draw. $5. Yeah, parlay all three of those. $5 pays 20. And then we got another parlay, Chelsea. No way Arsenal can pull anything off. Everton. No way Sheffield can pull anything off. And Tottenham, just because Wolves seem a little sleepier than Tottenham at the moment. It's definitely going to be the snooze fest of the week.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're hitting up the double Bs, Brighton and Burnley away value. $2 pays $26.
Fantastic.
And then 4 under parlay, just to show you how I think this week's gonna go. Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Arsenal, Chelsea, and a controversial one here. Leeds, Burnley is going under because I have Burnley winning that game, so it would only make sense for me to hit the under. And then Wolves, Tottenham, which the odds aren't as good, but you know how I like my four teams in there.
Yeah.
And then 2 goal scorer parlay, just 2 players, Miguel Bruno Fernandez and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Both of them are going to score. $3 pays 70. And that's all I got.
All right, brother Keegs, hoping to continue your push towards even money. You've been doing pretty well as of late. Let's keep it going. Let's go to Sandy now. Sandy, you're getting close to negative 200 again. Let's start moving in the other direction. What do you got for us?
I actually feel pretty good about the slate this week. And
Me too.
I think I'm gonna swing for the fence a little bit and try and win a lot back in one week. So I'm gonna go with Southampton. $15. It's moving 15 to win 34. That line is awesome. Plus money Southampton against relegation bound Fulham. Everton, $10. They'll win. I got the Leeds Burnley under as well. I think that's a great line. You get plus money on a Burnley under. You take that every time, unless they're playing City or Liverpool.
Yeah.
I'm also going to sprinkle the Burnley money line, similar to Keegs. I like that value.
Nice.
I'm also going to take Spurs, $5 to win. Still a little bit, not a huge bet. And I'm just going to parlay all my winners together and hope for a miracle and just hope I can win all my negatives back in 1 week.
Whew.
I'm going to go with a $5 parlay. Everton, Southampton, Spurs, and I'm going to throw Liverpool in there too, just to get a little extra value.
Oh,
There's
don't do it.
I'm doing it. You know, you'd probably chirp me for losing value, but It gives you an extra plus 100 in the parlay. So if I bet $5, that's an extra $5 right there. So I'm down for it. I'm here for it.
All righty. Those are your bets, Sandy?
Yes, sir.
All right. This week, I'll move on to myself here. I am very confident in the slate, so I'm moving $75 of real hard-earned money in this slate. I've got 10 on the boys Manchester United to keep that winning streak away on the road. Keep it going. $10 on Manchester United. I've got $10 on the exact same odds here for Southampton away at Fulham. Fulham has not looked good lately. Southampton, although they're missing Ings, as Cam was alluding to earlier, Walcott steps right up. He's going to score this week.
Are we mushing Southampton again? Did we mush Southampton last week too, or 2 weeks ago? I don't know. Can't remember.
No, Southampton, they're winning this game. I have got $10 on Arsenal to beat Chelsea. This is the type of game that Arsenal is going to win, and you know I love nothing more than a bet on Chelsea to lose. And I would just love it to see Nketiah score and Arsenal win this game. That would infuriate Marco to no end. And
you played in fantasy too?
Yeah, and he's been, because the first time I played him, Nketiah scored his only goal of the season, and so now Nketiah's actually might be starting with Aubameyang out, so I'd love to see it happen again. I think it's written in the stars.
Yeah.
Everton to beat Sheffield United, disrespectful line, absolutely. $10 on that. If Everton doesn't win this game, I will be very angry with them. Then I've got a couple of my double chance parlays. I've got Crystal Palace winner draw parlayed with Manchester United winner draw. $10 pays out 25. I've got two more. I have Southampton or draw. Southampton or draw against Fulham, so just not to lose. And Everton or draw, $15 on this one, just betting against Fulham and Sheffield United to not win this weekend. I think that's easy money. $15 pays out 25. So looking to profit 10 there. And then the last one, a little bit more of a long shot, but I've got the double B parlay as Keegan used, but I've got not to win, but just to avoid defeat. Burnley or draw and Brighton or draw. $10 pays out 31. Hoping to win some money this week, feeling good about it. Coach Cam, you're a regular on this podcast now. Let's see what you've got.
Okay, of course. So I'm starting with a Chelsea, Leeds, and Southampton. All to win parlay, $4, pays 30.73. It actually is a week for Cam's fantasy team. So I'm parlaying Marcus Rashford to score. I'm also parlaying Theo Walcott to score. Anytime, remember, fans, listeners, void if they do not start. But I'm pretty confident both these players are going to be starting. $4 on them, pays out 36. Keegan did 4 under. I'm doing 4 over games. So I have the over in the Leicester Man U, over 2.5. I have over in the Arsenal Chelsea. I have the over in the City Newcastle, and the over in the Liverpool and West Brom. 4 pays 24. This is a different one for me, but so midweek, this was yesterday, Tottenham played in the cup. Harry Kane started and played a fat chunk of time. So I actually have Carlos Vinicius, who's also on my fantasy team, to score anytime. And I'm parlaying that with a draw between West Ham and Brighton. $4 pays out 34. I have James Tarkowski to get a yellow card anytime. $7 pays out 28. And then my last bet, I wanted to just kind of do a Cam Pedic, not a Cam Pedic special, but a swinging to the fences. So I'm doing City and Newcastle to draw, and West Brom and Liverpool to draw. Parlaying both those, $2 pays $180. So, yeah.
Ooh, there you go. Cam, my last question for you, are you confident in these bets?
I'm confident out of the 6 bets I made, I'm confident in 4 of them.
There you go.
Like those odds, 66%.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's not right. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Cam, the only way Tarkowski scores if he fucking gets a yellow is if he gets a yellow sub right in a goal.
Yeah. Taking off his shirt
Off
exactly.
after that long overdue goal we've been waiting for.
Exactly. It's gonna be a game winner, or he's gonna go break the corner flag like Jimmy Vardy and receive a yellow card as well.
Could be, yeah. Could be. He's probably a better slide tackler than Jamie Vardy too, so he'd do even more damage to that.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Cody, you missed out on the permanent spot, but as runner-up, you got the guest spot this week. What are your bets? Prove that we made a mistake, and maybe you're going to go on and get signed by an even better club, and then you'll always score when you come around and play against us. It'll be that type of story.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm starting it off with Spurs Wolves draw. I said it was going to be 0-0. I'm sticking to that.
Well, then bet it.
Okay, well, I don't know.
Let's see.
I'm not that confident, but we'll see. Then I got Sandy's boy, Che Adams, to score.
Love that from you.
That one pays 15 from $5. The Spurs Wolves draw one, 5 pays 16.25. Then I'm riding Burnley this week against Leeds, straight up. 5 pays 21.66. West Ham to win this week, 5 pays 11.50. And I'm going United, $10. 10 pays $22. And that's it.
Cody betting on Manchester United.
Yeah, it's a sad time when it comes to that, but I don't know. I feel like United's going to pull it off, and I don't want to leave the podcast all completely negative. So,
Well, you're disrespecting a good team, disrespecting some game, showing a lot of maturity.
Yeah, that's all I have, boys.
All right. So yeah, I guess the last thing we'll say is, does anyone have anything to say before we head out of here?
I'm a little nervous. We got a lot of similar bets this week. That happens sometimes, and it either means it's going to be a very prosperous league, but more than likely we're all going to be negative. So we'll see how it plays out, see how it shakes down.
Yeah, we'll see. Will all the boys eat, or will all the boys starve this week?
Exactly.
We'll find out.
We'll
And
be
if
eating
not,
on Christmas Day.
yeah,
Hopefully not starving on Boxing Day.
no one will. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna fill our bellies on Christmas, and we're going to starve on Boxing Day. No, just kidding. Hey, if we do starve, we don't even have to wait a day in between before we got another set of games. So we'll be back to preview those games and throw some bets out with the Banter Bets and BPL podcast. Last thing I will say is we unfortunately did have to drop Cody this week, but if any other betting pods are out there, I would recommend him as a great character and a solid bettor. So Cody, you've always got a reference letter from us here at Banter Bets and BPL if you're looking for a new team in the future.
And most
Thank you. I
importantly,
appreciate that.
stand-up guy.
Yeah, stand-up guy, exactly. All right, from new member of the team, Coach Cam, permanent member. We made his loan permanent. Sandy, brother Keegs, myself, Liam, and our guest Cody this week. Stay safe out there, guys, and bet even safer. We are done. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to all.